Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I appreciate and respect your pathway to healing. I think it's beautiful when evil can later be used to help others who have suffered abuse. I want to know what you think, and admit I'm a little scared to hear your response because I know you won't bullshit your opinion. I respect you enough to take in your opinion and consider how to improve myself or my situation. I'll start with a brief background of my spouse and myself. My parents had drug drinking problems, pretty extreme. Both my parents had shitty upbringings. Similarly, my spouse and I had a wide gap of socioeconomic backgrounds as my own parents did. My mom was middle to upper class, slightly more educated, but she dropped out of school and never went to college. My dad was dirt poor, and there was no hiding it, and he did not graduate high school either. Both sides of the family had some major issues. The biggest difference between my husband and myself's past is that his family was upper middle class and appeared from the outside to be normal. Despite that, my spouse and his siblings were neglected badly. My siblings and I were not taken care of because of lack of finances, as well as drug and alcohol problems that consumed my parents until they died. My childhood was below the poverty line income-wise, and our problems could not be hidden. My parents died young due to their lifestyle choices. Fast forward to now, my husband doesn't have in-laws to worry about. His parents married to stay married for 40 to 50 years, I lost count, but are miserable to be around because they bicker constantly. They get joy out of arguing, debating politics, religion, talking badly about others. I never disrespected or treated my mother-in-law badly, yet I'm supposed to take her shit and smile. Well, that means your son's a son husband. Okay, if your son is forcing you to put up with his mother's bullshit, he's a son husband. There's no reason for this. See, I never understood this with guys who would not just tell their mother to shut the fuck up, who would allow their mothers to abuse their wives. And they were all the same type. Son husbands afraid to stand up to their mommies. You chose to be with a woman. You chose to marry her and spend the rest of your life with her. Act like it. She looked down on me for many reasons, having hippie parents, looking at me like I'm white trailer trash. Hey, you can't pick your parents, or the world would be a better place. Circumstances I have no control over, I should not be crucified for the rest of my life. I may not have been given all the tools a person should have to live this life, but I deserve a small amount of credit for how I have lived. I went to a tech school and I have been doing my field of work for almost 20 years now. I'm looking to change fields and pursue other ways to make income. I've rarely not worked and don't plan on stopping. My mother-in-law is overweight and has had triple bypass surgery among other health issues. She isn't attractive and doesn't take care of herself. I think even though she feels she is superior to me, that there are things about me she's extremely jealous about. She definitely hates my guts. She doesn't feel superior to you. She acts superior to you. They act superior to you because they don't feel superior, because they are threatened by you. His mother sees you as direct competition, which is always sick. Comes from a sick, entitled place. Probably she makes herself fat and ugly and trying to cause her own health problems, so your husband has to take care of her. They act superior because they don't feel superior. I do not have a college degree as I moved often in a military family with my spouse. My kids are grown and their adult lives have started and beginning college degrees are done. My children are currently going further on in college on their own accord, by their own means. She also resents that my kids are doing pretty well in life compared to her other kids' grandchildren. She really hates if I do well or succeed at anything. Both my in-laws have master's degrees. My mother-in-law uses this against me and portrays me like I'm stupid, as if there's nothing of value about me. In my immediate family, it was I was the first to graduate from high school. You are over-explaining yourself to somebody who feels like they're inferior to you. And it just goes to show you it doesn't matter what level of education or award or anything that the narcissist achieves. They still hate themselves. All of this is based in inferiority, is based in self-hate that the narcissist has of themselves. Okay, they should be satisfied of what they were able to accomplish. No, she needs to shove it in your face, because even though you only graduated high school, she still sees you as better than her. I'm not as far in life and career as I should be, but considering where I came from, I'm doing considerably well and have come a long way in my own right. I do not think taking care of oneself and living in a healthy manner is bad, and my husband really loves it, so screw her. By the way, I'm working on my own degree at 45 years old, so middle finger to the CHAG. School is very challenging for me, not because I'm not intelligent, but I do have dyslexia and dyscalculia. Let me ask you this. Are you going to school because you actually want to be in school, or are you going to school so you can try to hold one over on her? I mean, if that's why you're going for all the wrong reasons. Are you going as a reaction to her own inferiority projection onto you? Now you feel you got to go back to school? Listen, if you're going to school because you want to be there, then do it. If you're doing it as a means of trying to equalize yourself in her eyes, or to make yourself more confident when you talk about her, you don't need to do that. You don't need a college degree, a piece of paper to tell you you're on the level of her. The fact that she attacks you the way she does should be all the justification you need. Because she feels the need to attack her son's wife over some petty competing with you like girlfriends would, like jealous classmates, mean girls. I also have a lot of emotional trauma about school. I was in special ed my entire life. From the first grade up until my senior year in high school, I was labeled an LD child, learning disability. Any grade school knowledge that I have beyond 3rd or 4th grade wasn't because of my schooling. I've never been taught math beyond basic fractions. I went to school in the generations before the No Child Left Behind Act. In my day, if you were in special ed, you were not integrated with normal kids. My classmates had severe retardation issues, cerebral palsy, were deaf or blind. This really hurt me emotionally, and therefore school gives me terrible flashbacks of feeling like there was something wrong with me and that I'm stupid. You're the same age as me, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, we used to call these rooms, we used to call them romper room. Okay, there were a couple kids that had severe retardation issues. Okay, and then you had mostly the other kids that were the burnouts, that were lazy, that this is the only way you could get them to go to school was to call them quote unquote learning disabled. And it was a joke. They would laugh about it. They were doing literally 2 + 2 = 4, okay, like in 10th, 11th grade, okay, and getting straight in. It was called romper, and it was a joke. And what it is it's another consequence of the baby boomer generation. This is something the baby boomers did when I was in school. In high school, they did these romper room classes where these special needs... Wait a minute, we got 100 kids in our graduating class. How do we have 9 kids that are special needs out of 100? What? What? Just in the senior class. So they would look for kids like you with parental issues, hippie parents, stuff like that. Okay, and then you know, put them in these classes, which, you know, was just another teaching job. Another tenured teaching job that was just basically ground ball to first, you know, teaching that shit. Romper Room, it was called. And there were like legitimately 2 kids that had severe mental retardation issues or severe issues that needed that type. And then they threw the burnouts and the friggin' and the dread. Basically who you see protesting out on the street now in pussy hats. Okay, and wanting to abolish that. That's where that originated from. Those kids who you knew didn't need to be in that class, but were only there because they're fucking deadbeats and lazy. That's where they put you in. And because you were targeted by your school system to be put in there, I guarantee it. This really hurt me emotionally, and therefore gives me terrible flashbacks of feeling like there was something wrong with me and that I'm stupid. I did have normal friends, but I kept my special ed a very well hidden secret because I was deeply ashamed and embarrassed, and my parents weren't capable of helping me in school. I didn't have any adults to give me good guidance as a child. Frankly, it's a miracle I graduated from high school. I also ran away from home at age 15 and never went back home. I had no family helping me through high school. I've overcome a large portion of my learning challenges through self-motivated hard work. Look, and I'm telling you, the way this is written perfectly. This isn't written by somebody who has learning disabilities or a special ed student. This is shit you were fed. And it's meant to demoralize you as a child, to make you think you're stupid, so you don't ever... Nobody ever left those classes. I mean, it was just mind-blowing. And I know this, they tried to put me in that class, and I think I was the only one who was like, I'm not going in there. What? What are you, nuts? I have no problem following anything in these classes. You're just boring the shit out of me. Seahag makes snide comments about how there are more important things than looks, like having an education. However, she isn't really a smart woman. She just has a degree. Exactly. It's not hard to get a fucking degree. Are you going to school because you're trying to prove something to this idiot who's just jealous of the way you look? And that's another thing. You know, there's modern day baby boomerism and feminism right there. Okay? Here she is, she's fixated on, she's got a master's degree, and yet all she cares about is looks on a wife who was, by her own story, a special ed student. That feminism is doing wonders, isn't it? That modern day feminism is doing wonders for women's self-esteem. You boil it down, it still just comes down to who's prettier than who. I initially wanted her to love me and wanted a relationship with her very much. But now I know what a blessing it is that she shunned me from day one. She has no idea what she missed out on in a daughter-in-law who used to be eager to have a relationship with her. I think everyone has narc qualities due to varied degrees, and there's nothing wrong with it at lower end spectrums. I believe it can motivate people to do great things as long as it doesn't hurt others. My mother-in-law feels everyone else should be like her and think like her. If you don't think she's right or agree with her, you're a piece of shit. For a long time, she tried hard to become a wedge in my marriage and encourage divorce. She almost won. And she eventually lost that battle. My marriage isn't perfect, but we are happier and respectful and more honest with one another than they are with each other. My question is this: am I wrong to take pride in my looks? I just happen to enjoy clothes. I love makeup. I enjoy doing hair and doing womanly things. I happen to like working out and feel fulfilled in these ways. You are the victim of modern feminism. You're the victim of modern feminism here. Your mother-in-law is one of your basic fucking baby boomer academics looking down their nose at everyone else. But you know what? It's bullshit. Want to know why it's bullshit? Because it all just comes down to looks with her anyway. And she can feign all the bullshit about education this, education that. It's all about looks. No, there's nothing wrong with taking pride in the way you look. No. No. Because I'll tell you what, if she was actually prettier than you, she'd be shoving that in your face. This is the misery of modern day feminism. This is the misery of what baby boomer feminism has brought everybody. With her master's degree and all, it still just comes down to, I'm a jealous schoolgirl. Jealous over looks and hair and makeup and all that. That's your mother-in-law. You should laugh at it. You got to see it for how sad it really is. For how sad it really is. For how sad her generation really is. How sad our parents' generation was. How your parents just neglect, because they were just probably your basic baby boomer fucking free love hippie freaks. And your school system clued in on that and made you into a special, quote-unquote, special ed for their own bullshit reasons as well. But it's all bullshit, because for all their higher learning and education and master's degree and women this and feminism that, it still just comes down to looks. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? What's Russia's rule? Russia's cardinal rule on feminism? Feminism was created to give ugly women access to the mainstream of society. Because it all still comes down to looks. Your mother-in-law is a perfect baby boomer example. You are the perfect victim, Gen X victim, of the baby boomer generation. This is it. This is Generation X life, basically. This is what you deal with. The hypocrisy, the gaslighting, the sabotaging. Okay, and what is it all based on? It's all based on their hatred of themselves. Is there something wrong with trying to be the best me I can be? I'm not a competitive person. I just do what makes me happy and pursue what I'm passionate about. It seems every interest or hobby or goal that I have is looked down on by the C hag because she's jealous of you. Because she's a dried up fucking narcissistic baby boomer femitwat. That's what she is. Who knows she's bullshit, who really all of it only comes down to looks. To looks. I can't go no contact, but I engage as little as possible. I have nothing to prove, nor do I care what they think. However, it does hurt to be viewed badly no matter what I do. I've learned I'll never win, earn respect or love from them. I don't think they know what real love is, or even what real joy in life is all about. Why do I feel a little bit like Forrest Gump telling you this story? Half joking. Well, you got to realize you've already won. They attack you out of jealousy. They attack you because they know they're bullshit. You got to look at her life as a whole and like, what a fucking failure. All you do is bitch and moan and talk about these master's degrees and your education. But when you boil it all down, you are she is the perfect example of the failure of feminism, of the lie and hypocrisy of it, of the baby boomer feminist, it still all comes down to looks. Period. Take pride in yours. Okay? Because you need to understand her attacks are based in hatred of herself, of inferiority to you. Because in her mind, the looks are 1,000 times more important than that degree will ever be. She knows how dumb she is. The fact that she was able to obtain that master's degree negates it in her own mind. And that's why she's so fixated on looks, because she hates herself. So yeah, don't let her shake you. And I would tell your husband, okay, who I think you're giving a real frickin' free pass on this, to put on his big boy pants and stand up to his fat fucking horde of a mother, okay? Because I'm sure she hoards shit out too, because that's what they do. Baby boomers. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But that's them. The failure of the modern day baby boomer in feminism. There it is. So, I hope that helps. Thank you, Anonymous, for your contribution and your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you guys. Without you, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance.